In today's video, we are testing out two types of throwable fire extinguishers versus a regular fire extinguisher. Which one works best to fight fires? Guys, we are back at the dome today. We're not using the dome, but we needed a place that was safe for us to start some fires. Here's the basic idea. We have three different types of fire extinguishers. We have an AFO fireball, fire vases, and an ABC fire extinguisher. Which one of these is going to put out a fire best?
In front of us on the table, we have three different types of fire extinguisher. The first is the classic, standard, the kind of thing that you hopefully have in your house in at least a couple places.
The next that we have is what is called a fire extinguisher ball. Now, this is an AFO fire extinguisher ball. This isn't the first type that was really made popular. The first type was called Elide or Elite or something like that. It's from Thailand. This one is from China. It's a little bit different, and a lot of YouTubers have done things with fire extinguisher balls, but something that I've never seen is them testing them against other types of fire extinguishers, like the regular kind and what's called a Firebase. Now, this is supposedly a vase you can have in your house. It looks pretty, and if there's a fire, you toss it and run, or apparently you can use it for an escape route. You toss it at the fire so you can get out, or you can crack it over a blanket and wrap the blanket around yourself to get out of the house or wherever you're at. So a few different types, and we want to test them all out today.
We want to throw things at fire, and these seem like good choices. I think that this is mostly water, it may be slightly soapy water, but it looks like it's mostly water, and I don't think this is enough water to put out much fire.
Yep.
So this is my bet for least. I don't know between these.
It is class ABC, so that's what all of these technically are. Now, I do want to point out, tons of YouTubers have done amazing videos with these. What's Inside did a really comprehensive video about what's inside one of these. It's fantastic, you should check it out. But what I've always been curious about is, people are like, oh, well, this didn't work in this type of fire, and it'll be a gasoline fire, something like that. From what I've seen, from what is actually in these balls, it looks like it is for a class ABC fire, which is going to be wood, fabrics, flammable things you might find around your house. It's not going to be for metal fires, it's not for liquid fires, or anything like that. So it does make sense that it would put out a wood fire and maybe not a gasoline fire. So I'm curious to test it out against a regular ABC fire extinguisher.
Between these two, I suspect this has more fire extinguishing material, but the dispersal method of these is supposed to kind of go everywhere, and that might help even displace some air and then just smother everything faster.
Okay.
So I don't have an opinion between these two, but I do suspect the vases will be last.
So let's go ahead and try vases first.
All right, let's make a fire. These are not designed to put out liquid fires, so we're going to put the lighter fluid on to start it, wait till it's actually the wood burning well, and then we'll try and put it out.
Now, something I want to point out, when I ordered these, I thought they were going to be glass, which in hindsight, glass wouldn't really be a safe throwable fire extinguisher, but they're this sort of plastic, and it's not fully rigid. I can press my finger into it. So that also means that it's not really pressurized. So I'm not sure how the disbursement works. From the videos that I have seen, not a lot. Oh, hey.
I think it splashes. I think that's how it works.
Probably.
I think it will maybe break and splash a little bit.
It's just a little foil top, that's all that is. After we throw one, I'm very curious to puncture it.
I like that.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, it put out a little bit.
That actually worked a little more than I thought it would.
It broke nicely.
Yeah.
I was worried that it wouldn't break well. It did break well.
Yeah.
Something is in that other than just water. We saw it fizzing a little, like foaming a little bit, and there's been some bubbles in it as well.
Yep.
However, I'm just going to point out that most of this fire still appears to be burning.
And it's gone back on fire.
It's now taken over everything that got put out.
But it does say that you could use this as an escape route, so it did keep the fire suppressed for a couple of seconds there.
Maybe better than nothing.
It's fair.
Do you want to try opening the other one and see how much you can pour?
Sure, yeah, let's see if we can just pour this out. All right, let's just throw this on our fire real quick.
Just, dribble it on, see how much we can put out. Is it going to be more than when you threw it?
Wow, okay, so it foams, that's neat.
That was a lot more effective.
Just pouring it.
Yeah.
Now the bottom part of the fire is still going, but that would definitely work.
So you definitely put out way more just pouring it on. And it is coming back, it's evaporating, it's coming back, but it did suppress it in terms of like an escape route. That would be probably helpful. Throwing it, I would say, would be if you can't get close to it, then you should throw it. If you can get close to it, then
pour it for your escape route.
Pouring got a lot more done.
Would you consider it worthwhile to have that in your house?
Maybe it's better than not having it, but having a real fire extinguisher, I would bet anything, is going to be way more effective.
Agreed.
All right, let's add just a little bit more wood to this.
Okay.
Get it going again pretty nicely, and then try the next one.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna hide in the dome for the next one. I'm kind of kidding, but kind of not. It's supposed to detonate. And if you've seen this channel for more than 2 videos, you might know that I jump and scream at loud noises because I really don't like them. And it's very likely that that's gonna be what happens. Nate has been very kind and has said that he's willing to throw it for me.
Yes, kind, that's why.
So if you look around the edge, you'll sort of see that there's this ridge. Now that's actually fuse that leads into a small explosive. This outside is squishy, it's actually styrofoam, and on the inside, you can hear it. Put it next to my mic. It's full of the powder. And from what I could tell when they had pulled one open and dumped out the powder, it looks very much like the powder you find in an ABC fire extinguisher, or even one for grease fires. So I'm very curious to see what happens. I'm gonna hand it to Nate, and I'm gonna walk away.
It does say on it that as long as it's been touched for 3 to 5 seconds by flame reaching 70 degrees C. So I don't think it's supposed to blow up on contact. It goes in and then that fuse she was talking about lights it off. So I'm going to try and just toss it into the fire and then run. Hopefully it catches, pops, and puts out a lot of fire. All right, here goes. Putting out a fire. Well, it popped. I saw a lot of fire extinguisher powder go places, and it looks like it put out about as much as the first vase.
Interesting.
Should I try the other one and try and get it more centered?
Yes, carefully, well, I mean, carefully for you, put it in there.
I gotta say though,
I'm disappointed.
I'm pretty unimpressed with that.
Yeah.
This time there's a little bit of a divot, kind of right top center, and I'm gonna try and just kind of toss it right into there to maybe hold it in a better spot. The ideal result with one of these. Oh, it's still moved. I feel like that is all of our fire putting out powder.
Yeah, it went up.
With the throwable vase, when we threw it in, it put out a small area. When we poured it in, it put out more of an area. And then with the fire extinguisher exploding balls, they really didn't do very much. So I want to do a comparison of just a standard 16.9 fluid ounce water bottle. I want to try setting one in to see if it will pop itself open at all. And then I'm going to try just opening one and pouring it over the fire and see how those compare to our specialty fire extinguishers. Obviously, there's a lot of thermal mass in the water, and it's absorbing all of the heat. That's a fun little fountain that formed. I think that was right where there was an air bubble, and so it melted faster. Now it's like peeing the fire out a little bit at a time. Ooh, 2 streams, that's tricky. It just keeps forming new leaks everywhere as there's like a little air bubble that's able to melt open. Everywhere that's in contact with the water, not really going anywhere. There's also a little bit of water dripping out the cap. That's enough waiting, I think. I'm gonna see how much of the fire I can put out with 1 water bottle. That was a significant amount. There is a lot of steam, which could still burn you if you're trying to run through it, but better than just fire. It didn't put all of it out. There's still fire in there, of course. But I think that worked at least as well as the throwable vases, and definitely better than the AFO exploding ball fire extinguishers. So, also an option. Not as pretty, but you can just take water and pour it on if it's this type of fire. Obviously, if it's a grease or metal fire, not a good plan.
Our last one, Class ABC fire extinguisher.
Still a little bit down, and oh, it's coming back, but...
What did we do to this fire?
It's just hot.
Okay.
But look how much less there is.
Yes.
After that thing. With the bomb things, it popped and you'd still just be like, no, I'm gonna die before I can run through that. With this, it put a lot of it out. At least for a few seconds, you'd be like, well, at least the flames aren't like jumping up to my face.
Yeah,
so
you can run through it.
It did not get 100%, but it did suppress it, and everywhere there's still a lot of powder, it's like not coming back.
The vase ones, it's really good if you have kids. They can't maybe operate a fire extinguisher, and if you need them to have something in the room that they can throw, that might be helpful.
It's also the most attractive one.
It is, it's true. But guys, get a fire extinguisher. Put it in your house.
That also, like, you sprayed and then just kept spraying, and compared to the other ones, were just
boom,
gone. And
yeah.
this you could aim, move around, get other angles a little bit, and you were able to just keep putting more out. So this obviously contained a lot more of the fire suppressant.
So yeah, the Vases actually worked a lot better than we expected.
Water, good for putting out fires. Some fires at least. Fire extinguishers, better for putting out fires.
Is there anything else you want to see us try with fire extinguishers or those AFO balls? Let us know. Guys, that's not all. You know, we've always got more for you to see. If you like this kind of content, hit that button to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.